Hi everyone. Right after requests for neck and shoulder TLC, our next most popular request is love for hips and low back. So I'm going to give you a little practice today that you can do lying down. I prefer on the floor or firmer surface. If you need to do it on a bed, you can definitely do this on the bed too, but floor is just a little extra solid and stable. So find a place where you want to rest. Okay? Go ahead and lie down on your back. And just make sure that you have room to spread out so you're able to extend your legs all the way. You're able to extend your arms all the way back. Okay? If you cannot extend your arms all the way back for any reason, recent surgery, injury, anything like that, don't worry about it. It's not essential to our practice today. Okay? I'll give you maybe one or two times when we extend the arms back. Feel free to keep your elbows bent or just do one arm if you need to. Okay, we'll start feet on the floor. Okay, and just take a peek down and lift your head if you need to. See over to your knees and have your knees be about hips distance apart. So if you tend to splay way out, I'm over exaggerating, but if your knees splay out or you have your feet really wide, just walk them back in a little bit. Have your feet kind of in line with the center, kind of inseam of your hips rather than your outer hips. And have your knees just above that, just above your ankles. Okay? And go ahead and rest your hands on your lower belly or on your hips. Okay? Nice and gentle hands. Relax your shoulders. Find a place where they want to rest in your upper back. Let your head look up at the ceiling. And we're going to start with just taking a moment to tune into your breath and just feel its rhythm without trying to change your breath or guide it into anything specific. Just feel your breath in, feel your breath out. And it's going to be our guide for a little motion. And you're going to let that breath start to really move your belly. It doesn't have to be a big, stressful belly fill and empty. Just feel your belly kind of expand, rise up towards the ceiling. If you have your palms there, filling into your palms. And when you exhale, find a softening there. A nice release of your breath. And then as you feel into that rise and fall in your belly, let it start to carry your lower back a little bit. So when you breathe in and you feel your belly expand up, arch your low back just a tiny bit. Your hips stay on the floor. You'll even feel your tailbone press more into the floor. Okay? And as you exhale, curl your tailbone away from the floor a little bit. Press your low back really firmly into the floor. Okay? So you inhale and you arch your low back a bit. Okay? And you exhale and press your low back to the floor and curl your hips. Okay? And back and forth. Inhale, fill, lift your low back a tiny bit, exhale, and rock back, low back flattens. Okay, so your pelvis stays on the floor, you're not lifting it here. You're just rocking back and forth on the back of your pelvis, kind of top to bottom, okay, sacrum to tailbone. Giving that space a little massage, okay, guided by your breath. Back and forth pelvic tilts. And we're going to let this motion grow into something a little bit more, some bridges. Okay? We're going to stay with the breath. I'm going to guide. Okay? And sometimes it takes a cycle or two to really get in the rhythm of this. So if you start to feel a little lost, that's okay. Okay? Just rejoin us as you're ready. Follow back in. If you end up doing your own thing, that's fine too. Okay? We're going to take one more breath. Inhale, reach out through your belly, lift up through your low back a little. And then exhale, when you rock back and flatten your low back and curl your tailbone up a little bit, pause there. Okay, and feel your tailbone really reaching towards the underside of your knees. Your low back flat, your belly pulled in a little bit. Okay, take a breath in here and a breath out. And then the next time you breathe in, keep that tilt in the pelvis. Press up through your hips. Okay? So you press through your feet, lift your hips towards the sky. And you take a nice deep breath in with lifted hips, a bridge pose. Okay? And then hold your exhalation. Empty lungs. Okay? Come down to the floor. And when you come back to the floor, inhale, let your belly fill. Okay. Exhale, come back into that tilt again, low back flattens. Hold the tilt, inhale, press up through your hips, bridge pose. Okay, let your breath go all the way. Exhale. Hold the exhalation, empty lungs, come back down to the floor. Inhale and lift out through your belly, arch through your low back. Exhale, flatten back down. Okay. Inhale, press up to the ceiling. And exhale, hold your bridge. Let all your breath go. Okay. Empty lungs, hold the exhalation as you roll back down. Inhale and arch a little. Okay. Exhale, flatten back down through your low back. Inhale and press back up towards the ceiling. Okay, exhale, all your breath leaves. Empty lungs, roll back down. Inhale, this is going to be our last little arch. Okay, exhale, flatten back down, low back. Exhale and press up. This time we're going to hold the bridge for a few cycles of breath. And here's one of those times, if you're comfortable, you can reach your arms up and back. Shoulders relax. So if you need to bend your elbows a little bit to get there, go ahead. Press strongly through your feet. Lift up through your hips like there's a string tied to each hip bone that's drawing you up towards the ceiling. Okay, and notice if your bum's really clenching a lot here, try to soften up a little bit. Okay, it's still firm, still supportive, but you can let go of that iron grip a little bit. Okay. Take one more nice deep breath. If your arms are up overhead, bring your arms down as you bring your hips back down. Arms can come out to the sides a little more towards a T shape, an A shape if that's more comfortable. Walk your feet out a little wider, okay, out towards the edges of your mat if you're on one, or just wider than your hips. And then just sway your knees side to side. Okay. Your own rhythm, your own range of motion. So some of you might be just a little bit to each side. Some of you might be going way over towards the floor. Okay. Anywhere is fine. Do what's comfortable for your legs, what feels good for your hips and your back. It's back and forth, pausing if you'd like to on either side. And coming back up through center as you're ready, walk your feet back in and draw your knees up towards your belly. Wrap your arms around your shins, behind your thighs if that feels better. Give yourself a little rock side to side. If you'd like, curl your forehead up towards your knees, relax your shoulders down away from your ears, curl up into a ball, let that stretch your neck, your upper back. Come back down as you're ready. Bring both hands over to one leg. Take your other leg, extend it out long. Okay, so one knee hugs in towards your belly, the other leg comes all the way down, foot on the floor. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Okay, bring your extended leg back up. Switch your hands over to that side. Other leg stretches out, comes all the way down to the floor. Take a big breath in and release it all the way. Okay, the leg you're holding is going to come back down, foot to the floor, knee bent up. Bring your extended leg back up so your foot is on the floor. Okay. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee, and let your right knee fall out to the side so you can push it away from you gently if you'd like. Okay. You can stay right here. You can rock a little if that feels good. Okay. If If you want to come into a deeper stretch for the back of this right hip, you can put your left foot on a yoga block if you have it, a pillow, a stack of a few books, anything you'd like to kind of lift your legs up higher. Or if it's available, take your hands to the back of your left thigh so your right arm comes in between, okay, and your left arm comes around the outside. You can hold the back of your left thigh, let it carry your right leg in. You can use your right elbow to kind of press your right leg away from you. You can stay right here, softening your shoulders, your upper back. You can rock a little bit if you'd like, or just find a different angle. Sometimes just leaning a few inches to the left helps you really plug into the stretch. Okay? Relax that left foot. If you want to circle your ankle or point and flex a little bit, you can. Hey, your leg does not have to be up in the air. It can hang down. Be soft. We'll take another breath or two here, drawing the legs in a little more towards your belly maybe. And then as you're ready, your left foot is going to come back down to the floor. You're going to stay in your figure four position. Okay, bring your arms down by your sides. Take your left foot, the one that's on the floor, and walk it over to the left side more. Okay, few heel toes over to the left. Okay? And then take your legs, your right leg is going to really lead here, and bring them over towards the right. Okay, so we're coming into a twist. So your right leg's going to fall. It's going to carry your left leg with it. You can stay right here. You can bring your arms up and overhead if you'd like. Carries the stretch a little more through the left side of your belly and the front of that hip. Take maybe 2 or 3 breaths. Right? Again, soft shoulders. Let gravity take your legs. And when you're ready, the left leg is really going to be the leader to draw your legs back up. The right leg is just going to be carried along. Right. Walk back in through center. Bring your arms back down or out to the sides. You can uncross, unwind. If you want it in between sides, stretch your legs out, stretch your arms back, give yourself a little length. And then when you're ready for the other side, feet to the floor, knees bent up. Okay, take your left ankle this time over your right ankle. Again, press your thigh away from you gently. Okay. Take your right foot, either rock a little side to side, if this is where you want to stay. Okay, get something to put underneath your foot if you want to lift up a little bit. Okay, if you want the extra stretch, bring your hands around behind. Okay, drop your right foot down, relax it. And then you can choose. You can rock a little bit here if you'd like. You can lean to the right a little bit. You can just stay centered and breathe. Soften your shoulders, your upper back. Check in with your neck, your jaw, your face. Find softness where you can. And feel into that stretch, that sensation in your left hip. Imagine sending your breath there. And we'll take 2 or 3 more breaths. And when you're ready, your right foot can come back down to the floor. Stay in your figure 4. Okay, take your right foot, the one that's on the floor, walk it over to the right. Okay, few heel toes. And then your left leg is going to be the leader. It's going to draw over to the left. Okay, your right leg is going to follow. And then again, here you can take your arms up and overhead if that's comfortable. It's going to carry the stretch a little more through your belly and the front of your right hip, but you can definitely keep your arms down too. Okay, take a nice deep breath in and out all the way. And then your right leg is going to be the leader here. It's going to draw back up slowly. Your left leg's going to be carried along. Okay. Walk back in through center. Unwind. Again, if you want to stretch, if you want to lengthen, go ahead and stretch out. Reach your arms up and back. Okay, come back down as you're ready. Okay. And that's it. That's one of our favorite sequences to do in class. Okay. Really easy, really simple. Use any props you need, any cushions, anything to help you get into the positions or anything close to the positions that feels good. If you have questions, shoot me an email. The email is in our welcome video, and I hope we see you soon. Bye.